Woo! Welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet. This is Triple Shot Sports. We are now live on the All Access Sports Network. Today is launch day for the All Access Sports Network, and we could not be happier about the move. Lots of things are going on. Soup Boss is out for a little bit of time, maybe even a couple of months. He'll be here as whenever he can. He's going to join the show. But for now, it's just going to be us. A lot of stuff to talk about today, guys. Lots of stuff going on. A lot of baseball. Man, did the White Sox disappoint me. I had them picked as an upset. The Reds, another team I had picked as an upset. And look, the Braves the Braves pitching performed better than I thought that they would. But we'll get to all that in a little bit. Right now, we're going to welcome to the team. His name is Justin McDougall. We are going to call him Jay. Jay, what's going on, buddy?
How's it going, Combs? How are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. So why don't you tell the people, a little bit about yourself? Where you from? What's going on with you?
All right, man. So new members to the team, obviously. I'm coming out of New Hampshire. Maybe it's about an hour outside of Boston. So, I'm a Boston homer. I'm going to try to be completely as biased as I can. But, us diehards up here in New England, we just love our Boston sports. And
oh yeah,
Other than that, let's get it cracking.
You Boston guys, man, are man. I tell Soup Boss all the time. Soup Boss is a Boston guy too, and I tell him all the time. It's not the Boston teams that I don't like because I love the Boston teams. It's their fan base, man. They're so damn annoying. You got, especially you Patriot fans, man.
Hey, but honestly, think about it, man. We have a lot to gloat about. You know what I'm saying? Six titles, 10 years. 6 titles, 10 years. We got 18 NBA championships. We got the Red Sox. They're not so hot the last couple of years, but I mean,
man. Look, the Boston fan base, especially the Patriot fan base, man, they love to sit there and toot their horn. 95% of them are under, we're not even born when Tom Brady took over, and they still want to throw stuff in your face. But look, man, I get it. You guys, I say it all the time. I tell Soup Boss all the time. I said, you guys had God as your head coach and Jesus Christ is your quarterback. So it was not fair for a long time. But look, man.
And even now, think about it. You just switched over to a former NFL MVP as your starting quarterback.
Yeah.
In which I think Cam Newton's going to be a tremendous addition to the Patriots squad. And I already think that, honestly, I was saying before the season that he has a great chance of being an MVP, and I think the Patriots should already lock him up.
And he's surprising everybody, man. At least me. I did not see this team going the way that it's going with Cam Newton at the helm. He is adapting to the Patriot way, man. And I just heard a rumor before we came on the air from Adam Schefter that they're in serious talks about adding Julio Jones from the Atlanta Falcons. If you add Julio Jones to the New England Patriots, the Buffalo Bills are in trouble. The NFL is in trouble. The New England Patriots might win another damn Super Bowl without Tom Brady.
Well, the way I look at it really honestly is, Combs, is that I think that Belichick will win a Super Bowl before Brady's going to win a Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong. He's down in Tampa Bay right now. He's got a lot of pieces around him. He's got a great team. But nobody is as good as Belichick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey,
and Bill, we trust.
I got him there. We might have to rename the Lombardi Trophy to the Bill Belichick Trophy. But yes, he is. So the way we like to start things off here, Jay, is we start off with a segment called Shop Talk. So it's a segment where all the fans just get to kind of, chop it up with us. They get to tell us what they want to hear, what they want to talk about. My son here always chimes in and busts my butt. And he always says, "Go Cardinals." I keep threatening him with a trip to the Adrian Peterson's house, but it doesn't seem to faze him. Daniel Sullivan says, "Go Marlins." Daniel Sullivan is from Infinity Sports here, now on the All Access Sports Network. Sully, man, what's going on? He is a big Tampa Bay guy. This guy is he's a big Lightning guy, so he's still celebrating a Stanley Cup. He's probably still half in the bag. Tony DePool from Strikeout Beer says, "What up? What's going on, Tony?" And
what
then
up, Tony?
Michael Buckheister of the Mike and Mike Manhour says the Cubs suck. Mike and Mike Manhour, Michael Buckheister, you can't talk about the Cubs sucking because your Kansas City Royals didn't even sniff the playoffs, buddy. Just going to throw that out there.
Yes, he has Mahomes and the Chiefs, though. So
yeah. And my Bears could have had Mahomes, but we'll talk about that another time, man. That's just heartbreak central.
I was actually thinking about that today. To tell you the honest truth, because I figured that maybe at some points we would talk about the Bears and how that the Bears passed on Mahomes to get who?
Yeah. We talk about it a lot here on the show because Soup Boss likes to bring it up and rub my nose in it every time we talk about Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. But we'll have this talk again, I promise. Michael Buckheister, Royals are greater than the Bears. Get out of here. All right.
I don't know about that, but
all right. So it is Thursday night, guys. It is Thursday night football. We've got the Jets and the Broncos. Not exactly a barn burning matchup. 2 0-3 teams going at it. So it is what it is. It's Thursday night football. We could probably do without it. But Thursday also means we get in with Professor Leonard, and Professor Leonard and I go head to head on our picks, and we do it against the spread. So the first week he won 2-1. Last week we only picked one game different, and we were 1-0. So let's talk about bringing in Professor Leonard right now. Professor, how's it going, buddy? Oh, Professor with his cards. What's going on? How we doing?
What's up, Professor?
Check this beauty out. How about a rookie card that I just got in the mail?
Which one is that? I can't see.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
Jordan Howard.
Jordan Howard. That's a beautiful card. Anyways, what's going on, boys?
Hey, not much, man. Professor, this is Jay.
Welcome to the team. Let me go ahead and just prepare you for all the crazy picks that he makes. I mean, this is the same gentleman that said the Cubs and the Angels were going to be in their World Series. So that can kind of like set the foundation for all of his future communication. So just saying.
If we had a 162-game season, I might have been right. They were making a run there.
If you guys had a 10-game season, you might still be wrong.
You know what? And these playoffs are killing me right now, Professor. I got the Cardinals up 3-0 on the Padres right now. The White Sox lost. I got the Reds lost to your Braves.
Brandon,
Braves, man, pitched their asses off.
Brandon,
what's going on?
Listening to me. When are you going to start listening? How many times have I told you something? You're like, oh no, Professor. And what happened? Right, I told you go ahead and say goodbye to the Cubbies, right? Because the Marlins are just gonna come in there and just take over.
Hey, that series is not over yet. The Cubs still have Yu Darvish, who is going to be your Cy Young Award winner going in Game 2, and then if we go to Game 3, we've still got John Lester going in Game 3. So that series is not over yet. Do not count your chickens before they hatch, sir. But let's talk some football, which is what you are here to talk about. You ain't here to talk about baseball. Let's talk some football, Professor. We got the Thursday night game tonight, man. What do you feel about this game? You got a 1-point favorite in the Denver Broncos.
Listen, let me tell you something, all right? This is like one of those betting games that can sometimes get people tripped up. Right?
Yep.
Because you think it's so bad of a game to just not even put any money on or to even pay any close attention. However, this is actually a very interesting game. And I say interesting game because of all the various elements associated with the game. Could the Jets get that first win tonight? I don't know. You got 2 0-3 teams going at it. You're looking at both teams are beat up, yes.
Yep.
But as you know, I always go off the numbers, yes. And both teams have given up huge amount of yards on defense, right? Broncos have given up 388 yards The Jets have given up 382, but the number that really kind of separates me the most is the passing yards. Broncos have given up more passing yards than the actual Jets defense has. So, with that being said, if I were to look at this game, I might actually take the Jets. I know that's a shocker, right?
No, because I put money down on the Jets tonight, sir.
Listen.
I like
the
your
numbers. This is what I always say. Numbers don't lie, and when they do, the margin is very slim. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
But for some reason, the numbers are lighting up tonight, and I actually have it as even, right? But you said you got it at a +1 for the Jets.
It's at a +1. +1 for the Jets. It's a -1. The Broncos are favored by 1.
Give it to me, Jets.
Yeah.
Just for something. I mean, yep. So
I might take them on the money line.
No, hold on, slow down. Don't go too far. Don't go. See, I told you. See, look, he gets too excited, right? And no, slow down. I didn't say anything about the money line.
Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Yeah. All
right. So let's get into it. All right. So Jay, we got 3 games that we do every week. And the winner of the previous week gets to pick one of those 3 games. So this week, Professor Leonard picked Bills versus Raiders against the spread. Now, right now, the Bills versus the Raiders is sitting at, as I'm looking at it here, we have the Bills are a 3-point favorite versus the Las Vegas Raiders. So I'm going to let you go first, Professor Leonard. Bills versus Raiders, -3. Who are you taking in this game, sir?
I am going to end up taking the Raiders at +3. And this is why. Going back to the numbers, okay. I want to actually look at the number of yards gained by the actual team. Yes. Yep. The Bills have 449 versus the Raiders 386. But the different number, the number that sticks out the most, right, is that the Bills have 346 passing yards versus the Raiders 261. But the Raiders have given up less rushing, the Bills have given up less rushing yards to the Raiders. So I think personally this is going to be a lot closer game than what it actually is appearing to be. So that's why I say give me the Raiders at +3.
All right, Jay, you ready for this, buddy? We're a team here. So my picks are your picks, just so you know. I'm going with the Bills, and I'm giving you the points. I don't care what you say. I'm going with the Bills, and I'm giving you the points. The Bills are a better team than the Raiders. That's what's going to happen.
I'm going with the Bills as well. I think your X factor here is your quarterback, Derek Carr. Great quarterback, don't get me wrong. Throws for a bunch of touchdowns. But when you get into a close game with Derek Carr, you never know what to expect. Interception might be a touchdown, usually an interception. So, I mean, I think the X factor here really is probably Derek Carr.
And look, I think what the X factor is that Bills defense. I think that Bills defense last week against the Rams was I think it was one of those games where they just get shell-shocked. And that's what happened to them last week. I don't think it's going to happen 2 weeks in a row. I think they're going to go out there. I think they might win this game by 10 or more. So I'm taking the Bills.
That front seven for the Bills is pretty dominant. You know, the back end is not so hot. I mean, the corners and safeties, but that front seven is very, very dominant. They get to the quarterback, they stop the rush. They're a very well-trained and disciplined defense. I really do like the Bills' defense. And, you know, like I was saying, I do believe Derek Carr is your X factor, but right underneath that is also the Bills' defense.
Absolutely.
I have Josh Jacobs rushing in for the win on the very last.
Oh, here we go. All right. I guess we'll find out. All right, so next game we got here, we have the Cowboys versus the Cleveland Browns. Now, this one is an interesting one to me. So this one is a -4.5 for the Cowboys. You're giving up 4.5 points. Cleveland's playing better as of late, but they are still the Cleveland Browns. Then again, you could also say they're still the Dallas Cowboys. So with this one, I'll go first there, Professor. I'm going to take the Cowboys, and I'm going to give you the points again. I think the Cowboys are just a superior team on paper. I think that Zeke is going to rush all over that Cleveland Browns defense. I think that they are going to play a hell of a game. Dak's probably going to throw for 300. Zeke's going to rush for 125, and I'm going to give you the points. Jay?
Are you done? Oh, no, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
I'm also going to go with Dallas here. I just believe the Russian attack is too strong. Zeke's too powerful. You feed him all day, he's going to run all over that Browns defense. I also believe that their passing attack is much superior. They got, Amari Cooper out there. They got Gallup out there. They got Dak that's just been lighting it up for the past few games here. And I just believe that offensive firepower is just way too strong for anything that Cleveland can even handle.
I agree.
I feel like I should be Lee Corso and have like a mascot head next to me.
Not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast, my friend. All right. I love this game. This game to me has everything a bookie, if I can use that word, right, wants in this game. You have the Dallas Cowboys, who are the Dallas Cowboys, right? You're playing at Dallas, right? When do the Cowboys show up the best? When they're home, yes, or when Atlanta. Hang on, or when Atlanta doesn't pick up a onside kick. Anyways, but besides that, going to the numbers, yes. Yep. Total yards as a team, Cowboys 503 yards, right? Yep. Versus the Browns 358 yards. Okay, total number of yards allowed. Okay, Cowboys 415 yards, Browns 368 yards. To me, it's going to come down to the running game. Okay, the Browns have only given up 94 yards versus Dallas's 127 yards. Not even given that. I don't know what's going on in Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland is going to win this game, but I think the Browns are going to make it a lot closer than what people think. Give me the Browns at +4 and a half.
Oh my God! You take that 4.5, and I'll see you on Sunday night.
The one thing I wanted to say though, Professor Leonard, is these home field advantages are probably a little less than you think at this point, considering that there's nobody in the crowd.
Yeah. And I'm taking the crowd out. I'm just talking about the majesty that is Dallas Stadium, right? Cowboys are playing in Dallas. I'm not even talking about the fan. It's just for some reason when they are at home, right? Just things go their way. Just things happen, right? For some reason, the magic that is football got into the Atlanta Falcons and said, "Don't pick up the ball." Whatever happened, right? So something always happens, in my opinion, that favors the Cowboys. That's why I'm saying I don't see the Browns winning the game, but the Browns are going to make it a lot closer. I also see Nick Chubb scoring at least two touchdowns and rushing for at least 160 yards.
All right, I guess we will find out on Sunday. That's why we make these picks, and that's why it's so fun. All right, so next game here, and this one I think is the toughest game that we picked out of all of these. And this is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Houston Texans. And right now, the Minnesota Vikings are a 4-point dog. And, man, they played a little bit better last week. They probably could have won. But, the Titans came back and took that game from them. I know you're a Titans fan, Professor. But I'm going to go ahead and take the points. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm taking the points because I think that they are on the same level as Houston. I think that the two teams are very close. I think Houston might win this game outright, but I don't think it's going to be by more than a field goal.
I personally think that Houston will win this game, and they will win this game by more than a field goal. The reason why I think
we're supposed to be on a team.
I know we're supposed to be on the same team, but I gotta also spit facts here. Minnesota has been playing down this year, very, very down to the competition. I mean, I expected more out of Minnesota coming into the season.
I did too.
Even though they lost Diggs, I knew that the offense was going to take a little of a hit losing Diggs. I mean, Thielen's still a great receiver, but I think if he's your number one receiver, I don't think, that's good for your offense. I mean, he's a great receiver, don't get me wrong. But Minnesota is a very, very underachieved, and Kirk Cousins is not earning that contract at all.
All right. We're 20 minutes in, and we finally disagreed on something.
First of all, you are so smart. You know, if you were in my class, I would give you an A for all those facts. You know what I mean? But did you see that meme with Kirk Cousin and Adam Thielen? Like, we paid you $40 million for this, right?
Yeah.
I laughed when I saw that. I laughed. Okay. What am I talking about here? Okay, yeah, sorry. If fantasy, put David Johnson in. If you have David Johnson, right? Go throw him in your fantasy. He is going to run that ball this weekend. I don't hang on. I lost my screen, my numbers. Oh, hey, Brandon, tell me about my screen.
Look, so when we started all this, Jay, this guy here, he was like, "Oh, I'll pick you against the numbers." I said, "All right, cool." I thought it was just, a fan chiming in saying, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do." I said, "Yeah, well, I'll go up against you." Well, the day before we're about to do our picks, this man sends me a screenshot. He's like, "Yeah, by the way, I do this, on another podcast, and I do my games to stay away from and the games to bet on." And he's got a spreadsheet this freaking long with all of his notes for each damn game. So that's what he's looking at here.
Yeah, pretty much bamboozled you on that one. Just gave you a little little hidden tiger.
So let's go off the numbers. Again, if you have David Johnson on your fantasy league, I highly suggest you go throw him in. He is going to get you some points this week.
Yeah.
There we go. He's going to get you some points this week. But let's go off the numbers, right? So you have the Vikings at +4, correct?
I do.
Okay, so here's the thing. Total yards allowed, total yards gained, they're almost even. The only thing that is different, right?
Yep.
Is, again, the rushing yards, right? The total yards gained, right, for Texans was 66. But who did the Texans play last week?
I can't remember. I know they Baltimore and Kansas City first 2 weeks. I can't remember who they played last. Pittsburgh. There you go. Yep.
Okay. But again,
that's a tough 3-week stretch, man.
Pittsburgh though, one of the top 5 defenses. Yes, we can all agree about that. They went to Baltimore, right? Had a tough game. It's not that their strategies are wrong in how they attack these games. It's just that they're playing a better defense.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the Minnesota Vikings. This is when the Texans are going to show everybody about their game plan. They're going to put up some points. I see them winning by more than the margin, right? I see. I just like you said, we're going to see another reason why Cousins, unfortunately, does not deserve that contract, and we're going to see that they're going to get behind. They're going to get behind fast, and this is why I say that. Houston's defense is not that bad. Vikings offense is bad. Okay, that Houston defense, right, has only allowed 299 passing yards and only 147 rushing yards. Those are pretty good numbers. Now you got to go to a team, right, that only put up 200 passing yards and 146 rushing yards last week. That's why I said the Texans are going to come in. They're going to get ahead fast, and the Vikings are going to spend that whole game trying to catch up and at least keep the spread even.
All right. So just to recap, I've got the Bills -3. You've got the Raiders +3. I've got the Cowboys -4.5. You've got the Cleveland Browns +4.5. I've got the Vikings +4, and you've got Houston -4. So, Professor, we will see you on Sunday. We will get your take on all the games that happen. We will figure out how this plays out. But I'm going to come out on top, and I'm coming back on you, even though you are up by 2 games right now. I'm about to go 3-0 this weekend.
I'm up by 3, by the way, because I was 2 in the first week and 1 this week. So,
right, but 2 and 1 only puts you up by 1, right?
I still have 3. I'm just saying. But remember, guys, these are these are only my opinions. Anything that you take from what I say, if you want to use it, that's up to you. I wish everybody the best of luck. But if I can just throw one thing out there,
go ahead.
My crazy pick of the week, which by the way,
Oh man,
Combs, tell
2
them
weeks,
I've been
3
right.
weeks in a row.
My crazy pick has come through.
Unbelievable.
I picked the Colts over the Vikings. Everybody laughed at me. Everybody laughed
When
at
nobody
me.
knew how bad the Vikings were going to be.
Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't
All
lie.
right,
Anyway,
so who's your crazy pick?
You ready for the crazy pick? You ready for this? Right? Okay, here we go. When I tell you this, you're just gonna laugh, and you know what? That's absolutely fine. But here we go. Lions over the Saints.
Oh my God.
Not the spread. I am saying the Lions over the Saints.
Money line.
That is Mr. Leonard's crazy or Professor Leonard's crazy pick of the week. I got the Lions over the Saints. There's a number of reasons why, and we don't have time to break down everything. But just
I kind of hope you're right because look. We have Twist join us every Tuesday and they go over their power rankings. And Matthew Benz does not have the Titans in the top 10. He does not have the Bears in the top 10, both 3-0, but he does have the 1 and 2 Saints at number 7. So I hope you're right.
So if I can just speak on that for just one second.
Go ahead.
Titans do not deserve to be in the top 10. And again, you're talking to a diehard Titan. Once they fix their defense and stop giving up, 25 points in the second, half of a game, right? Then I can put them in the top 10. I have them at actually 12. Okay. Once they can stop giving up a lot of points in the second half. Yes, we are 3-0. Yes, we come back and win. Yes, we finally have a kicker. Nice, cool. But you still cannot give up 25 points, right? In the past 2 weeks, they're giving up 25 points or more in the second half. You just can't do that.
I agree.
You cannot go back and rely on your offense to make up for what the defense messed up. Sooner or later, it's just gonna catch up to them. But in short, okay, just in short, the Saints and the Lions, believe it or not, are almost even. They're almost even in yards. Right, so you have 376 total yards by the Lions last week, and you have 371 yards by the Saints last week. This is what's even funnier, right? You have 266 yards of passing by the Saints. You have 270 yards by the Lions. They both ran the exact same yards for rushing last week. Where is the difference maker? It's the total yards allowed, and in this aspect, the Lions are just slightly margin. They did give up a total of 423 yards versus the Saints 368. But where are the Saints' strength right now? It's Kamara, right? Kamara is, in my opinion, is what's keeping that team together. And when you look at the numbers, again, looking at the numbers, they only gave up the Lions only gave up 172 rushing yards last week. I think they're going to keep Kamara.
Only 172 rushing yards.
I know,
right.
But
you're talking about someone who's a dual threat like Alvin Kamara is.
Yes, I think that the Lions are going to do a great job of keeping him as a non-factor in this game and causing Breeze to actually start using some of his other younger weapons. And for that reason, I think the Detroit Lions are going to upset the Saints.
I'll tell you this: you just made all the Detroit Lions fans that listen to this show, both of them. You probably just made them very, very happy. So
again,
Professor.
That's why it's called the crazy pick, because the numbers, for whatever reason, favor the Lions this week over the Saints. So Again, that is completely my opinion. Everyone can have whatever that they want to have. But
bet at your own risk.
That's right. Bet at your own risk.
All right,
Go
Professor.
ahead, sir. Oh, hang on. He was going to say something.
I was just going to say that the talent doesn't match up, though. The Saints are far superior when you really look at talent. And when it comes down to games like this where, that they're dead even in yardage, they're dead even in rushing attack, the talent is going to shine above, and it's going to come out. And like I said, Alvin Kamara is definitely the factor in this game. They're going to definitely have to stall them. I don't think, the Lions never had a problem slinging the ball around. Stafford's always been there slinging that rock around. So they've never really had an issue there. I just think their run game is something that's going to stop them. And also, I think the talent factor on the Saints side is just much greater. And I don't think that Detroit's going to be able to stop them in the long run.
Everything you said, I absolutely agree. But ask Brandon, when it comes down to it, I take the star factor away.
I don't know why it works, but it works.
All on the numbers.
I might put all my money on freaking Detroit this weekend. All right, Professor. All right, Professor. We'll see you on Sunday, bud.
Take it easy, Professor.
All right, Jay. So that was the Professor. While we were in there, we had a couple people come through on the comments. We had Dave Gagnon said Jay, and he said you were on it. We have Hey from Texas. That's actually my Aunt Sandra. She says Cowboys are number one. Of course, she's in Texas. Says she started a watch and had over a dozen people watch. Hey, atta girl. That's how we do it. That's how we get more eyes on the show. We get more people listening. We get more people liking. We get more people subscribing. And that's how we do things. So speaking of getting more eyes on the show, more people watching, I've been talking with a gentleman from the Midway Poker Tour. Now, what is the Midway Poker Tour, you might ask? It is a startup poker tour that is going on right now here in Chicago. They've got some events going on. They actually just saw on their Facebook page that they had a gentleman win and won a pretty cool watch that they designed specifically for the tour. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Dan Bekovac of the Midway Poker Tour. Dan, I hope I did not butcher that last name there.
Close enough. I've heard worse.
That's a rough one. That's a rough one right there, Combs.
So Dan, how's it going, man?
It's going good. We got a good turnout so far. We're doing some cash games before the tournament. So we got a $1,100 buy-in tournament that's going to go on this weekend. $100,000 guarantee that I'm very confident we're going to smash. We should get 300-400 players for this for sure. Right now we're doing a live feed with the cash games. We got a 5-10 cash game going on, and we got a couple PLO games.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So now, why don't you tell everybody what the Midway Poker Tour is, what you're trying to do, what you're starting up, what are you guys' plans here?
Well, what it is basically we're giving players what they've been asking for. It's just a good tournament that has a good structure and actually takes care of the players. So like one of our slogans is for players by players. So we always want to take care of the players. We give them free swag, free food, free everything that all these other poker tours, they don't do it. We give them everything. We just try to give them as much as we possibly can and just always take care of the players first. I mean, nobody else does it except us.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, you go into a lot of tournaments. I know I used to play when I was over there on the East Coast. I used to play in all sorts of places, especially up there out Jay's Way in New Hampshire. They have a dog track out there that they turned into like a little mini casino. I used to go play poker at all the time. But yeah, no matter where you go, you can play poker, but they don't have that. They don't have the free food. They don't give you what you feel, you're going through with your buy-ins and stuff like that. So that's an awesome thing that you're doing there.
So what we kind of did was we take it to the next level. Like we're doing our live stream will be from start to finish. So from the first level to the last level to the final table, we're going to stream the entire event with commentary from some of our guys going through it and just getting as many people featured as we possibly can because everybody likes to be featured. Everyone wants to be on the live stream, on TV, everything. So we're just really going to try to take care of the players as much as we can on that aspect. And, it's going to be for a good cause. We're working with a charity called For Kids' Sake. They do great work. We've donated so much stuff to them with the other company that I have that it's just been phenomenal. They do a lot of good stuff. They take care of the kids. And
that's awesome. That's awesome.
So
now, are you guys strictly going to be in the Midwest here? You got designs on going coast to coast? What's going on?
We're actually talking with one of the casinos right now in South Dakota. So I mean, we're not. A lot of people get it confused and think Midway, Midwest. Midway happened a long time ago. We used to run a social club in Chicago, literally kitty corner from Midway Airport. So we were the Midway Club. And then we were doing some other stuff with the online apps and stuff like that. And we've been the Midway Club. So the obvious progression was the Midway Tour.
Gotcha. All right. Perfect. Well, look, man, there are lots of things that we could probably talk about behind the scenes, maybe even talk about coming up and doing a show at one of your poker tours, giving out some of our swag. get the network involved in some of the stuff that you're doing. But we'll definitely talk about all that stuff.
Sure.
So you're from Chicago, correct?
Yeah, I was born and raised Chicago. I live out in the west suburbs now.
Yep.
I got a lot of kids. I got 11.75 kids. I mean, it's crazy. When people hear that, they always think I'm lying, but no, it's true. So I work hard, play hard. You know, it's like I live the life. I live the dream. You know, can't ask.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're a big Bears fan, then? I'm assuming.
Of course.
All right. So let me ask you a question. Let's see if you're excited as I am that Mitch Trubisky is now on the bench.
He cannot throw a pass to save his life. He can make any pass under 17 yards, but he's got zero deep ball. And I've never liked him from the start. I was pissed when we drafted him.
And every time he throws a ball that's over 10 yards, man, it looks like a freaking duck after you shoot it out of the sky. That thing comes down so wobbly.
Every time. I mean, it was so annoying. I mean, I think was it the opening game? We needed like 4 yards to with me and my buddy, we split a league, so we needed like a 4-yard catch, and he just every time he takes a receiver, it makes me mad even when I think about it enough. It's like you get $500 every time you win for the week. We just needed like a one catch for like 4 yards, and he just ducked it in. He short skipped it once and then threw it over his head the next time.
Yeah.
Just think about it this way, Dan. You guys could have had Mahomes, and Trubisky it is.
Oh, I know. Why draft the greatest guy ever? You know. But they look at it like they saved $400 million.
That's the thing. A lot of people say that. A lot of people are like, "Oh, well, you missed out on Mahomes. You missed out on Lamar Jackson." Yeah, the way I look at it, the clear number one quarterback in that draft was Deshaun Watson. So the Bears really, when they traded up, I had my guy on the phone. I collect jerseys. I get a lot of jerseys. I have my guy on the phone. I said, "Look, as soon as they make this pick after they traded up, as soon as they make this pick, I want you to order my Watson jersey and get that to me." He said, "All right." Man, I still had him on the phone. They said the Bears select Mitch Trubisky. I hung up the phone. I turned off the TV, man, and I went to bed. There was no get. Mitch freaking Trubisky. I don't know.
Why are you trading up? There's no reason to trade up.
The scouts the scouts who said Trubisky is our guy over Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson absolutely ought to never be scouts in the NFL ever again.
Or even Lamar Jackson for that.
Yeah, I don't understand what they saw in the kid, but they did. All right, Dan. So I know you got a lot of stuff to do over there with the poker tour. I know you got a lot of people to get back to. Why don't you tell the people before we go where they can find you and how they can sign up if they want to play in your poker tour?
All right, guys. So right now we're in the Sheridan Suites in Elk Grove. The main event is tomorrow. It's an $1,100 buy-in. It starts at 2 p.m. We have 2 flights. We'll have a satellite going on at 10 a.m. And then the main event starts at 2. And then on Saturday, the main event will start at 12 o'clock. So we have 2 day ones, day 1A, day 1B. They'll both come together for day 2 on Sunday. We're expecting, 300-400 players at least. First place should be right around 80 to 100,000. You go to midwaypokertour.com. You can sign up, pre-register there, or you just show up at the event with cash and you get in and try to run good.
All right, Dan. Well, I might come see you. Do me a favor. If I do come see you, do not tell my girlfriend that you saw me.
I got you.
Because if she knows I'm spending $1,100, she's gonna be mad.
But we got some autographed jerseys. We're doing a good cause with the For Kids' Sake. We got about 10 autographed jerseys that we're doing a silent auction on. So get yourself a jersey. Just say, hey, I got a $1,100 jersey. That's it.
Yeah. That's all. That's all that matters, right? I come back with a jersey, and she'll be like, "Well, what about rent?"
Right. So, hey, Dan, don't be surprised if you feel a tap on the shoulder and you see me behind you.
Hey guys, come say hi. It's gonna be a great turnout. We're gonna do it every month. Our next location we're setting up right now is in Indianapolis. We're gonna hopefully get that finished up. It'll be November 14th through the 16th, I believe, will be the next event. So we're real excited about that. Just keep rolling along and doing our thing.
All right, Dan. Well, I'll hit you up a little bit later after the show, and we'll talk some business. All right.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one, Dan.
All right. So that was Dan Bekovac of the he never told me how to pronounce his name, so I'm still butchering it. But of the Midway Poker Tour, it sounds like a lot of good things going over there, and I'm already busted. Michelle says she was listening the entire time. Well, I guess she'll know where I'm at if I disappear on Friday. So,
Yeah.
All right. So
And,
we do you play poker?
I do. I do. I play a little bit. I lose a lot more than I win, but I do enjoy the competition,
Yeah.
and it's a great game to play. I mean, especially for a great cause like Dan's doing there. You hear he's got the raffle going with the jerseys and all that other great stuff, man. And then,
Yeah.
bringing the players together, feeding them, doing all that great stuff. I mean, it's just stuff that people don't normally do anywhere else. So I'm glad to hear it. That's the first time I've actually heard, amateur players, getting treated like
like
they're
pros.
pro players.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a great thing that he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's definitely going to be something I have to check out. I've been looking for places to play around here. Like I said, I used to go play up at the dog track. I can't remember the name of what's the name of the dog track up there in Loudon.
Right up. It's actually the it's in Guilford, and it's called I want to say it's like a something poker room
it's the poker room, but it's at the dog track. Yeah. So they used to do a good thing there, and they had the WPT. They were associated with the WPT for a little bit. Not sure if they still are, but I've been looking for something like that around here. So I might have to talk to them and figure something out. But all right, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be talking a whole lot more football. We will be giving you our NFL Week 4 preview. So all you guys listening out there, stay with us. We'll be back in about 90 seconds.
Time to take a stand, boy. You've been overlooked. I don't think you understand, boy. Souls overboard. I done played in front of grass, boy. Kill the shit, still I end up leaving empty-handed, boy. Waiting patiently, now y'all gon' sit and wait your fucking turn. Rise up on these ashes like a fucking nerd. Yep, I earn the shit and you try taking it from me, and you gon' fucking learn the hard way to charge. They gon' say they ain't the one to burn. I can't undo. I can't undo what it comes to. I didn't choose it, but it's here. Don't feel the nice guys finish last. That's the case, I'm tell the whole world to kiss my ass. Cause when I'm sexy's only time that I finish last. I be sweating like we in the gym hitting the bags. But that's the wifey ain't ashamed to say I'm Christian, man. I really live this will miss me with your tradition, fan. Fuck you, put my faith up there and let them judge you well. You think my word is bad? You should hear me when I pray. I ain't playing, I got one move left and I'ma execute it perfectly until the whole entire motherfucking world is heard of me. Yeah, either that or till they murder me. Cause quitting never fucking worked for me.
All right, so we are back. Jay, I don't know if you know who that was, but that is Meezus. He is a YouTube rapper right here out of Chicago. That dude's got some crazy lyrics and some crazy messages in his song, man. I love the stuff that he puts out. But he is the only one that has come through out of all the emails and stuff that I put out, said, hey, can I use your music on our show? And he's been straight up with me, messaged me, say, hey, yeah, use my stuff, get it out there, get my name out there, do whatever you can. And dude, I'm telling you, man, if you haven't listened to him, he's a guy who deals with depression and that type of stuff. He raps about it. He talks about real life stuff as well. So he's got some good stuff. So if you haven't checked him out, check him out.
Huge hip hop head over here, man. Definitely heard of Meezus. He's definitely up. He's on the up and coming for sure. And I've heard a lot of his stuff. And like you said, his YouTube game is crazy right now. And dope artist, I think.
Yeah, he is absolutely amazing. I'm a huge hip hop guy too. So I listen to a lot of it, but his stuff, man, like I listen to it and I'm just like, Yeah. Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Very reminiscent of Jedi mind tricks. If you remember who they are,
Yep.
Very reminiscent of them. You can definitely feel some Vinny P in his message.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's get to it here. NFL Week 4 starting right now. We had so we just did our picks with Professor Leonard. And man, that guy's a character, ain't he?
Yeah, he is. I mean, in that crazy pick of the week.
Yeah. Hey, look, you know what? I said that in all 3 weeks. When he said his pick, I'm like, are you out of your mind? And all 3 weeks so far, he's hit. So I don't know. If the Lions hit, every time he gives me a crazy pick, I might go bet it.
I think you might be wrong this week, but hey.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. All right, so what we like to do here after we do that with Professor Leonard is we like to go through Week 4 game by game and make our picks straight up, not against the spread, but straight up who's going to win the game. Give maybe a couple of reasons why. So let's start here. First game of the week we have is the Jets in Denver, which are playing right now. Who did you have in this game?
I'm going to go with the Broncos here. I think that, the passing game is not really there. Rippon looked good a little bit last week when he came in, 8 for 9, 83 yards. He went 8 for 8 when he first came in, threw that interception in the end zone. If he let that, him being a rookie and that his first start, he lets that receiver, cut behind that safety, and that might be a different ball game. Their rushing attack, not really good. 3.3 yards a carry. Melvin Gordon right now, they're heavily depending on him. That front line is pretty decent. Now the Jets, though, that passing attack is, pretty potent. Sam Darnold's a pretty great quarterback. I like him a lot. If you put him on another team, I think he does much better. But at the end of the day, it is the Jets, and
yeah. Hey,
they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something. If they don't win this week, I think Gase's jobs might be up for. They might be looking for a head coach. Only 4 games or 3 to 4 games into the season, and
I think that the Jets and the Broncos, I think, are pretty much the same team. And so when I made my pick, which I went with the Jets, I think the Jets are going to win this one in New York. I think that when you go Darnold or Rippon, granted, you don't really have a great choice either way, but I have a little bit more faith in the Jets passing game than I do the Broncos passing game, even with their wide receiving core. I feel like Darnold is going to do something here tonight. Now, that being said, I made that pick before the game, and right now it's about 4 minutes ago in the first quarter, and the Jets are up 7-3 right now, and they have the ball again. So we'll see what happens there. All right, so let's get to Sunday's games. We kick off with a game that is near and dear to my heart. We have the Chicago Bears versus the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going with the Bears here, and this is the first time this season that I'm actually picking the Bears. I think that Nick Foles coming in is going to light a fire and really spark this offense, much like you've seen it spark against Atlanta. Now, I get it. Atlanta is, the professional team of giving up 16-point leads, so that may not have been as big of a deal as we thought last week. But having the Bears, and I've said this time and time again, the Bears weren't a great quarterback away. They weren't a good quarterback away. They were a decent quarterback away from being a threat in the NFC. All they need is a guy who can hit passes. I can't tell you how many times I watched Trubisky overthrow or underthrow a wide open wide receiver for an incomplete pass. And even his completions were either overthrown or underthrown, and receivers had to go and make plays. So I with the Bears defense and with Nick Foles at the helm, look, I'm a believer, and I feel like this is the start of something. I picked them at 11-5 before the season started because I felt like Trubisky, and I said Trubisky would be gone by week 3 and Nick Foles would be taken over. I just thought they were going to lose the first 2 weeks. So I feel good about my pick, and I feel good about them this week.
I think I'm going to take Chicago as well. You know, like you said, Foles coming in, I think gives him a little jump in the offense. Everywhere Foles has been after he's taking the starting job from wherever he's been, he's done fantastic. You can't deny that. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, in Philly, he came, took Wentz's spot, led him to a Super Bowl. Mind you, he was the MVP of that Super Bowl. Beat the Patriots. That's a pretty tough task right there. I think with Foles there, I mean, the Bears offense is definitely a little bit more high powered. Indy's defense, not so great. Indy's offense, not so great. I mean, yeah, Phillip Rivers is pretty decent. Had a great game last week, but I mean, you know how Phillip Rivers is. I mean, he's up and down, you know. So
I agree. I'm away from I'm not high on the Colts. I know a lot of people are high on the Colts. The boys that we have every Tuesday from Twist, they both had the Colts in their top 10 power rankings preseason. And I went off on him when I saw that, because I don't know how you can see what he has done in San Diego, Los Angeles now, with the receiving core that he had there, and then come to Indianapolis and how he's just going to take over the world. So I agree. I got Chicago this week. All right. So the next game here, we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, a lot of people might look at this game and be like, man, this is not going to be a fun game to watch. This is not going to be a great. I actually think this is going to be an awesome game to watch. I like Cincy. I really love Joe Burrows. Jacksonville there, I mean, I don't know how you can go and say anything bad about Minshew Mania. So I think that this is going to be one of those, 34 to 33 games that just is back and forth and down to the wire here. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to go ahead and take Minshew Mania in this one.
I feel like this one feels like it should be a Thursday night game for some reason.
Well, they had the Broncos and Jets, so they had to go that way.
Yeah, I understand that, but I feel like this should be like a Thursday night game for some reason. I mean, it just seems like one. I mean, Broncos, Jets, I guess, but maybe this should have been the doubleheader. But either way, I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I do like Burrows. I don't think there's enough around him right now. I'm going to take Minshew Mania as well and go with Jacksonville.
All right, perfect. Next game here, we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I did pick this one in the spread with Professor. I had the Cowboys minus the 4.5. So that tells you what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking the Cowboys are going to win this game straight up. I actually think that they're going to win this game by a lot of points.
I do too. Like I said earlier, I'm taking the Cowboys as well. The offensive line is just too much for the Browns' defensive line. Zeke's just going to run the ball down their throats all game long. As long as you keep feeding Zeke, you got, Amari Cooper over there. You got, what's the new receiver they got? He wears 88. Oh, my God.
Oh, you're talking about the rookie there. I'm horrible.
Yeah, the rookie.
With names when it comes to it.
The kid from Alabama there. Either way, they got him as well. I just think that Dallas is just going to run all over them. Dak's going to throw for like 350 yards, 4 touchdowns.
You're talking about CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb. Yep. So they got him over there. That rushing attack's potent, that passing attack's potent. They got Gallup as well. I mean, I think they're just going to run away with this. I think they're going to run away with it.
I do too. All right, so then Professor Leonard's crazy pick of the week was the Lions over the Saints. Straight up, they're going to win this game is what he says. Look, the New Orleans Saints have been down the last 2 weeks. They had a big win against Tampa Bay to start the season and just have not looked good in the 2 weeks after that. And I get that they've been, without their big wide receiver there, Michael Thomas. But if they get him back, Detroit's done. And even if they don't get him back, I don't know how the Detroit Lions team even comes close to the New Orleans Saints. I think that New Orleans is going to win this game and I think they're pissed off and they want to win this game big. So if they're up big, I don't think they're going to stop scoring.
No, I think they're going to stay on the gas. Like I said, I think like you just said, I think they're pissed off. I think last week was, kind of eye opener for them.
Yep.
Like you said, Thomas is down, but I mean, even without Thomas, they got Sanders, they got Alvin Kamara, they got Drew Brees. I mean, they still have a really, really high-powered offense, really hard to stop. Defense, not so hot, but I mean, they're a serviceable defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I take the Saints, even with the numbers, as the professor was bringing up. I'll take the talent over the numbers, and I'm going to go with the Saints.
Absolutely. All right, so the next game here, Seattle versus Miami. This one is going to be over before halftime. Seattle is going to absolutely annihilate the Miami Dolphins. Sorry to my buddy over there in New Hampshire, Rob LeBrun, who is a big Miami Dolphins fan. But look, Rob, if you're listening, just don't even watch this weekend because this is going to be ugly. Russell Wilson might not even play the second half. This is going to be a big win for Seattle.
Yeah, I don't see Seattle having a problem here at all. Like you said, Russell Wilson probably will be out at halftime. He'll probably already have 5 touchdowns. He'll probably have like 475 yards. The man's just been on a tear absolutely this season. I think he's in year 10. I don't think there's anything that you could throw in front of him at this point that he hasn't seen. There's just these quarterbacks when they get to the point in their career that, there's nothing you can do to them anymore that is going to surprise them. And Russell Wilson, at the 10-year mark, that's where he's at. Could be locked for an MVP this year. The offense is great. They always seem to have a good running game. It doesn't matter who they have.
Yep.
They can plug and play. They can plug and play their running game, and the back you always want on your fantasy team for some odd reason. Like I said, Wilson MVP candidate.
Yes.
What are you going to say? I mean, Fitzmagic. I mean,
yeah. No, I agree.
What's going to happen? I just don't see the magic coming, and
not at all.
I'm definitely taking Seattle.
Yeah. So your mom chimes in here and says, "Go guys!" You got to give your mom some props here. We love when family chimes in. My son here always chimes in as well. My oldest boy, he says, Miami wins. Just kidding.
I do like his little avatar there. We got Cam.
Yeah, he's a big Patriots fan, man. When he was here visiting me in Chicago, he was I got him this picture of Wes Welker in mid dive catching a ball, and he's got it's autographed and everything. Actually, it was Julian Edelman, not Wes Welker, but yeah, it was just one of those. He was super. He didn't even know what to say. Like, it was one of those. He opens up the gift and then he's just like, "Oh, cool." He was just. I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess I'll take it back then." All right. So next game here, we got the Chargers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you got in this one?
I personally think this game is pretty interesting. I think that offense in Tampa Bay is coming around. They got a lot of weapons there. I mean, don't get me wrong. Their offensive line is more than decent. They got OJ Mayo. They got Gronk, even though he hasn't been playing up to his potential lately. Mike Evans. They got Godwin. I mean, the friggin' untimable Brady. I mean,
yeah. And
they're just going to get nothing but better over there in Tampa Bay. I like the Chargers as well. I think that they got a great team. They got the rookie in right now. Tyrod Taylor's still out with the lung, I guess. The punctured lung from the doctor, from their own doctor.
Hey, you want to hear my take on that? I think I think their doctor is Justin Herbert's uncle.
Very well could be. They're like, we're gonna get my nephew to start here, So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very well could be. I still think that the Bucs take this one. Their defense is solid. I didn't even realize this the other day, but they have Sue on their team. I saw him sack someone, get up and do his shake, and I was like, oh yeah, they have Sue too.
Yeah,
I'll take Sue at this point in his career any day. He's still an 8 in my book. He can still get to the quarterback. I take Tampa Bay here.
Yeah, I take Tampa Bay here too. Look, I just think that the Chargers are with Justin Herbert, and Justin Herbert impressed me against the Chiefs. He really did. The way he played against the Chiefs was amazing. Right. And so, but I just he's still a rookie. He's still learning. They're still going to go through growing pains. And when you're going through growing pains and you're playing against Tom Brady, it's just not going to work well for you. That Tampa Bay defense is good. The Tampa Bay offense is really good. They got a very underrated running game. A lot of people forget that they went and got Leonard Fournette. He hasn't, made headways yet in Tampa Bay, but he will have his breakout game. So I've got Tampa Bay in this one as well, but it might be a close game.
And they also have Shady McCoy as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so then we got Baltimore versus Washington. I don't know what to think about this game, man. The way Baltimore played against Kansas City, and I get that it's Kansas City, but the way that they played against Kansas City and the way Washington has played thus far through the first 3 games, they haven't been as bad as people expected them to be. Now, granted, there's a whole lot going on with Daniel Snyder and all this stuff, and maybe they're playing just to spite him, just to say, hey, just because we're the Washington, not Redskins anymore, doesn't mean that we can't, come out here and play some football. And they're playing some pretty damn good football right now.
A lot better than advertised, I think. I didn't think the Redskins, the Washington football team was going to be as good as they are. Haskins looks okay. I mean, still really hasn't had a breakout game yet. Second year in the league also, though. Plays for the Washington football team, might add. Coaching down there, not the greatest. I mean, Ron Rivera, I hope he brings, the Washington football team back to its glory or even close to it because, it'd be nice to see them good again, But the way I see it here is Baltimore's too strong, running game's too strong, quarterback's too good. It's like playing Madden when you watch this guy play. He can throw, he can run. I mean, if you put Ingram back there to throw the ball, I'm pretty sure he can catch as well. So, yeah, I think Baltimore has too much for him, and also I think the Baltimore D is going to be a little bit too much for Haskins to deal with.
Yeah, I think Baltimore is going to win this game too. I think they returned to form, even though they just laid an egg against Kansas City. But maybe he's right. Maybe Kansas City is just their kryptonite, and they're going to finish this season 14-2 or 13-3, like everybody thought that they were going to. And Washington's just going to feel the brunt of them being pissed off. So I've got Baltimore in this one as well. So yeah, look. Washington, and just so you know, on the show here, we don't call them the Washington football team. We either call them the Washington not Redskins, or we call them the Washington Bobs.
Washington Bobs.
It stands for bottom of the barrels. So
I like that one right there. I can definitely go with the Bobs.
All right, so from now on, we're gonna call them the Washington Bobs when you're on the show for sure.
Sounds great.
All right,
sounds good.
So then we got Arizona versus Carolina. This is another interesting one to me. Look, Arizona is very. I'm not a big believer in Kyler Murray. I'm just not. I think that, granted, he's tiny like Russell Wilson, but I don't think he's as skilled as Russell Wilson is. Not even close. And he does have a very good wide receiving core. I mean, when you add DeAndre Hopkins, and you put him on the other side of. Oh, geez, what the hell's their other wide receiver's name there? Number 11. I do this all the time with names, so just bear with me.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Fitzgerald. When he does it with Fitzgerald and you team them up, I mean, he's got a really good wide receiving core, but I just don't – I don't know. I'm not as high on him as most people are. I do think Carolina is better than they have played. I'm a big believer in Teddy Bridgewater. I think Teddy Bridgewater is a very solid quarterback. I think it was a great replacement for Cam Newton. It was time for Cam Newton just to leave Carolina. he was not that great in Carolina. He was very subpar, but it was time for him to leave, and Teddy Bridgewater was a great addition there. So I think Arizona's going to win this one, but I think it's going to be one of those comes down to last possession type games.
I think Arizona's going to win this one by a little bit more. I don't think it's going to be one of those touchdown type games. I think with that air raid attack that they have going down there in Arizona, Kyler Murray's playing the same exact offense he was playing in college. That's why he's been doing so great. With the coach there. Oh God, it was his college coach, Kingsbury.
Kingsbury, yeah.
So there's not much that he had to adjust to play the offense. That's why I think he's playing so great at this point. I think he's got a great arm, amazing legs. He can run the ball. I think Arizona's going to win this one, and I think they're going to win this by like a touchdown.
All right. We'll see. Look, Arizona did just lose to Detroit, so we'll see.
But the thing is like I feel though for some reason Arizona always loses to Detroit for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why or what it may be. Maybe Detroit's Arizona's kryptonite, but I feel like they're losing to them a lot. So.
Okay.
But
right.
I mean, Carolina, you said I think they're better than advertised. Like you said, Teddy Bridgewater, I think he's a lot better than he's played the last few weeks. Carolina doesn't have a bunch around him, and I think that's kind of what it is more than anything. But I do like Bridgewater. When he played last year for the Saints, he went 5-0. So I do like Bridgewater a lot, and I think if you put a little bit more around Bridgewater,
yeah,
you get a lot more out of him.
Yeah, losing Christian McCaffrey really hurt that team for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so next game here we got Minnesota versus Houston. Minnesota. Look, I picked them with the +4 when we were talking about Professor Leonard. I do think Houston wins this game outright, though. I just think it's by less than 4. I think these two are a very similar team. I think they're both, playing worse than what they actually are right now. I think Minnesota's a lot better than what they played. Dalvin Cook, Thielen, they've got weapons in Detroit. That secondary is just very young. And so I think that they'll find a way to get exploited by Deshaun Watson. But Minnesota has the offense that's going to be able to get into a shootout with them. So it's going to be a very close game. So I've got Houston winning this one by maybe 2 or 3.
Just like I said earlier, I agree with you. I think Houston does win this game. Minnesota, I thought they were going to be better than advertised. Like you said, they have Thielen, they have Dalvin Cook. I mean, they have Cousins, which is a more than serviceable quarterback. Worth the contract, maybe not. But, I mean, at the time and the people that they had to sign, I think that it was a great signing for Minnesota. Not much better than Keenum, I think. If Keenum would have stayed and, played another year, I think that they'd probably be in the same position that they're in now, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
But I think, Houston, their defense is a little bit better than advertised. Also, Deshaun Watson, David Johnson. I think Houston takes this,
All right.
Not by much, but they definitely take it.
Right. So we have the Giants and the Rams. And look, anybody who's playing the Giants this year, I'm picking them. I just am, especially with no Saquon Barkley. So I got the Rams in by a lot. This is not going to be a good game.
This is not going to be a good game. This game should be over by the second quarter. The Rams have too much. They just have too much on offense. They got too much on defense. I'm sorry, New York, this year, guys. You guys are just going to have an awful record. You guys have a great quarterback. You surround them. You surround them with some talent. And yes, I think you guys got something going there. Defense is absolutely horrible. They have nobody on that defense. They're giving up big yards every week to teams that are not good. We like to
joke around and we like to say New York actually has a good football team with Buffalo. It's New Jersey that has 2 bad football teams.
Right, exactly. Yes. New York does have one good football team. They do.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
They
All
just don't play in New Jersey.
So now we get to your boys and the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to let you go ahead and go first because then I'm going to tell you what I think about this game.
All right, so New England, Kansas City. Obviously, I want to take New England because, that's my team. That's who I root for. But honestly, if I'm going to spit facts, it's going to have to be Kansas City. I think that they just have too much. Mahomes, he's like playing a video game. It's crazy. It's just he could be down by 25 and you can't count him out.
Yep.
I mean, I love the Patriots right now. I think that they're definitely, heading to a 10-6, maybe 11-5 record. They still will possibly win the division. But I just don't see him taking the game this week. They just have too much in offense, and I just think that Mahomes, picked them apart last year. He knows how to exploit the defense, and not only on top of that, I just think from a man who says that 2 years ago he didn't know how to read a defense to now that he does know how to read defenses, he's automatic. And I just think, I don't think this is a blowout by any means. Maybe a touchdown, 4 points. I don't think, like I said, it's not a blowout by any means, but I think Kansas City's definitely taking it.
All right, so here's where it's interesting for me. So I said this before the season started, and I'm still waiting for it to happen, and this might be the week that it finally happens. I'm waiting to see how Cam Newton reacts when he's getting his ass kicked like he reacted when he was in Carolina. So whenever they had a bad game in Carolina, he just hung his head. He was down on the sidelines. He wouldn't talk to nobody. And you haven't seen that yet from him in New England. And I was very impressed by him when Seattle went up by 12 points with about 4 minutes to go in that game. I said, well, this is where Cam Newton usually shuts down, and this is where we'll see that Cam Newton. And what Cam Newton did was he went and he drove them back downfield, and I think it was like 5 or 6 plays, scored a touchdown, got to within 1 score, and then drove them back downfield after that and got to within 2 yards of winning that football game. But look, the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes score at will. I am convinced that last week they didn't score more points on Baltimore because they shut it down. They didn't need to score more points.
Right.
If they needed 60 points, they could have put up 60 points. And it would have been easy. Like, the way this Kansas City Chiefs team is built and the way Patrick Mahomes is playing, man. Look, I got Kansas City. I don't see anybody beating them unless Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. Kansas City is unreal. Patrick Mahomes is unreal. I got Kansas City in this one. I think it probably be by 11, 12 points. So if New England gets down big, I'm very intrigued to see how Cam Newton reacts to that.
I think that Cam Newton with the Patriots is going to react a little bit better. When they did go down to Seattle, he didn't hang his head like you said. I think that they almost could have won that game. Cam Newton bounces that last run to the outside. We might be talking about it. We might be talking about a little bit of different ball game. But I mean, I think Cam is going to be good. I think Cam might be an MVP candidate this year. Call me crazy. That might be my crazy pick of the year. But I think that Cam's not playing this year. 1, he's playing for a contract, and 2, he's playing for respect. So
So you've been on the show now for about an hour and 13 minutes, and we finally got the first time where a listener is disagreeing with you, and you picked the Kansas City Chiefs, and your mom is mad, bro. Your mom is not happy with you. She wants to know what the hell you're doing. Look, you better apologize right now, or you might be cooking your own dinner for the next couple of weeks.
Looks like I'm going to be cooking my own dinner because I'm sorry, I don't see the boys taking this one. I'm sorry, I just don't.
All right, man. All right. So let's see what we got left here. We got Buffalo versus Las Vegas. Oh, this is another one where Buffalo's just better. They're going to win this game. They're going to win it by way more than the 3 points that they're favored. I like Buffalo in this game by at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Buffalo has too much for him. I like the Raiders, don't get me wrong, but then there's just that wild card, which you call Derek Carr. He plays great for weeks on end, and then before you know it, he's throwing interceptions, he's hurt, he's this, he's that. I do like what the Raiders are doing with their squad. Don't get me wrong, but I just think Buffalo too much. The defense is this front seven's way too good. Their back end is more than decent. I think Buffalo takes this one as well.
All right. So then we got Philadelphia versus San Francisco. This is another interesting one, man. Look, I think everybody except for the practice squad on San Francisco is hurt. So in Philadelphia, I've been saying this since week 1 when I picked Philadelphia to win the NFC East. I thought that they were going to win the NFC East. I thought they were poised to make a run. I thought they're better than Dallas. I don't think Dallas is all that great. I think they are a 9-7 team, 8-8, somewhere in that area. But I definitely don't see them being what they are. But Philadelphia, to me, you got Carson Wentz, who has just been doing things that Carson Wentz normally doesn't do, throwing interceptions, trying to fit balls into spots where they don't fit. And so this one's a tough one. I think that Philadelphia is going to pull this one out, but it's going to be close.
I don't see Philadelphia winning this one, even with the backup quarterback being in San Francisco. Like you just said, Wentz is making, I think, more of a digression than he's making a jump. I think this week, if you don't see Wentz play a good game, that you might see Hurts, and you might even see Hurts in the game this week. And I don't think that, Philadelphia would have an issue with going away from Wentz right now, the way he's playing.
Right.
The year he earned that contract, he was playing stellar. But other than, Wentz has just been taking a straight digression, and he's just not taking any progressions, So I want to go with San Francisco. It might be one of my crazy picks of the week because, you would think that Philly should take this game, but I see Wentz giving it up somehow.
Yeah. No, I would not be surprised. I just wouldn't. I think that it's gonna be another one of those games where it might actually be fun to watch because they're two teams that are just on the same level. So I guess we'll see there. If San Francisco didn't have so many injuries, this one wouldn't even be close for me. But there's just too many injuries. So then we have the Monday night game, which is Atlanta versus Green Bay. And look, Green Bay is averaging 40 points a game. Green Bay looks like the best team next to the Chiefs. They look like they can score whenever they want to. And as a Bears fan, it just makes me want to fucking puke. Like, I just want to throw up in my mouth every time I talk about how good the Green Bay Packers are. But they are, man. Aaron Rodgers, I thought he was going to, lay an egg because of the Jordan Love draft pick. I felt like they were going to have a down year. I felt like the preseason, I said the Vikings and the Bears are both the better team. The Bears, once Nick Foles takes over, they're a better team than the Green Bay Packers. And look, man, I was wrong. Green Bay is good. And look, Atlanta can score with you, but their defense can't stop anything. Especially after they grab a lead. Green Bay is going to win this game. I'm just not sure by how much because I think Atlanta can score with you. So I'm going to take Green Bay, but probably somewhere between 7 and 10.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay here as well. I think that Rodgers can score at will on people. That team's better than advertised. I thought they were going to be, like you said, I thought the Vikings and the Bears were definitely going to be better than them. But it turns out that, any team led by Aaron Rodgers, I guess you really can't count out. He's one of those generational talents that, he can definitely just take over a game. If you are saying who do you want with the last 2 minutes, Rodgers is one of those guys you might want, definitely. Like I said, better than advertised. I'm going to go Green Bay here as well. Atlanta cannot hold the lead. They can definitely score, but they definitely cannot hold the lead. So I'm definitely going with Green Bay. And like you said, I think Green Bay wins by like 10.
Yeah, Green Bay, man. God, I hate saying it, but they look good. I can't wait to see them play somebody other than Minnesota or Detroit. And New Orleans is down. I don't think that they are as good as people thought that they were either. So I can't wait to see them play a team like a Kansas City or Baltimore. I know that they probably play. Let me see here. Who they got this next week here. I've got let's see who's on their schedule. Let's see when their first tough game actually is going to be. All right, so next week they have Tampa Bay. So that'll be their first real test is Tampa Bay. And then they get the Texans, the Vikings, the 49ers, the Jaguars, the Colts. And so they don't get tested again probably until they play the Bears.
Right.
So it's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, Green Bay is really good, unfortunately, and like I said, I hate saying it, but it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna take another break, and then when we get back, we will get to a little bit of baseball playoff talk. We will play our favorite game, Way or No Way, and we will also get to some more shop talk. So you guys start rolling in with the comments. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about in the last 15 minutes of the show with our shop talk segment. We will be right back. Stay with us.
Open up my emotions just to make me pussy. Tell the trolls keep trolling. Bet your ass won't push me. All you ass do is push keys. You exciting my demons. Even demons scared of me. Only fight when I'm sleeping. God, why am I breathing? Got no rhyme for no reason. That's the reason I rhyme. Niggas finding my season. I'm tired of y'all eating. I'm just tired of me stopping. Actually, I'm being honest. I'm just tired of being confident. I'm a ripper new all of your whole operation. I run out of patience. I run out of pages to write that I run out of pages. I jump on the mic and go nuts on the stages. So fucking amazing and nothing amazes you motherfuckers anymore. Cause my cadence is never stay the same. Don't ever say my name. The hell out my way. Got the devil in my head. The devil's in my brain. Like whoa, 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 whoa. No. Not gonna slow the flow down so you still supposed to know what I'm saying until you replay this shit over and over. I'm only a minute in already said more than you say in one of your albums. Wow, skating in the ring and ready to get it and let me know who want a problem. Holla, I ain't never had a fuck what you thought. One more battles than you ever fought. Nowadays 269 and then terror when they get caught. I'm sticking to the code. Jump before the stars, like with the flow. Only getting hotter to hit the road. Trying to make it dollars. Even book more. Fuck everybody. It's my gun. Oh my gosh, to see me with the lights off. It's a motherfucking star. I said that on the first call. My first step on. I bet you getting no way. But now you don't fucking do. Cause you're all up so low. Put the ass on no. Turn the low. Time to put the ass on no. Hey, no, let them know. God, put the ass on no. It's time to take over the globe, baby. No way they ain't gonna know.
All right, so we are back. Look, guys, a lot of baseball going on right now. I don't know where you stand on baseball. I'm assuming you're a big Red Sox guy.
I'm not really. I mean, I pay attention to it. I mean, I know what's going on and all that. I'm not a huge baseball fan. Too slow for me, really. Honestly,
Right.
I do love playoff baseball. Don't get me wrong. Playoff baseball is great, but regular season too long, too slow.
Well, only 60 games this year, so it wasn't too long this year.
Right. I mean, this was a great season as it being. I mean, not for COVID and all that stuff, but I mean, I think if Major League played, instead of 160 games a year, they played, maybe 90, 100, it would be a little bit better.
We talked about that on Tuesday. We talked about that. I had the idea of, and look, I'm a baseball guy. I mean, as you can tell by the backdrop with the Cubs and the Sandberg jersey, I love baseball. Baseball for me, it's baseball, hockey, then football, then basketball is way down below, and I only watch basketball in the playoffs or when I'm going to talk about it on the show.
Right.
So I'm not a big basketball guy, but baseball is I love it, and I go on other shows on the network. We talk baseball all the time. They call me the resident baseball guy. I do all the power rankings for the network and all that stuff. But this season, I think, showed baseball that a shorter season probably would help with their ratings. I had thrown out there maybe starting May 1st and ending the end of August and starting the playoffs in September as opposed to October. I think that once football starts, people start to lose interest. But if you had the playoffs while football was starting, people would still watch.
And I mean, and then I do agree with that as well, because, you know, they're playing during the week when the football games aren't on.
Right.
I mean, if it comes down to battling, it comes back to where, you know, they're battling basketball, football, all that other stuff, they have no shot.
Right.
You know, but I mean, that's this type of season. That's not going to be, you know, happening all the time. And if it does, they're in big trouble. But I mean, the NBA is going to start in December this year, so it's obviously not going to run as long. So baseball is going to have its little bit of time to shine before football starts. And, you know, I mean, like I said, if they did shorten the season, I could see the ratings going up because now the games mean more, you know. So I mean, I just think the season's just way too long. 160 games, you know. It's a lot of games.
Yeah, I love it. I'm one of those guys that by February, I'm like, man, I can't wait for baseball to start. I wish baseball would start. And then baseball starts, and I love that, man. I'll watch 3 games every single day for the entire season, but that's just me. But this playoff season has been crazy, man. Man, 8 games yesterday, 8 games today. Well, a little bit less than 8 games today. Cubs got postponed, and
right.
The American League Series, a few of them ended yesterday. So I think we had 5 games today, but man, just all day baseball. So for the baseball guys out there, this has been absolutely unbelievable. It's been a great watch. It's been fun. The games have been really, really good. I mean, you had the Braves and the Reds battle it out until 13 innings yesterday, and it was a 1-0 game. Like it wasn't even like it was a 7-8 game. It was a 1-0 game. It was a pitcher's duel. Cincinnati really wasted good pitching in this series against the Braves. The Braves swept it, won again today, 5-0. And so I had Cincinnati as one of my teams that could have pulled some stuff off, and they absolutely did not. We had some other games, other series that ended today. We had the A's beat the White Sox in Game 3 of that wild card series. Another team, the White Sox, man, I was high on before the season. Nobody really saw them coming, and they lost today. I had them, beating the A's. They lost. And then, look, the Padres were me and Soup Boss's darling pick. We picked them. We thought when we were doing our preseason predictions, we both had the Padres winning the division, and we both thought the other one was going to laugh at one another because we thought that no way the other guy was picking it. We both loved the Padres. We thought that they were young, they were talented, and they were poised to make a run. And with the Dodgers missing Price and Kershaw being injured early in the season, we thought that was really going to hurt them. Ultimately, the Dodgers overcame that, and they had a great season, went 40-20, but the Padres hung in there the entire time. And heading into this series, I didn't think the Cardinals had a chance, especially where they had went through that stretch where they were dealing with all their COVID makeups. They played 29 games in 24 days to end the season.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
So I thought they were just going to be tired.
Yeah, that's just crazy when you think about it. At the end of the day, that's a lot of games to play in that amount of time. I did like the Padres coming out this year too. Like you said, as a darling team. I think they're a young team, but they have some talent. They got a little bit of pitching. Machado. I thought they would be definitely better than they have been the past few years.
Yeah.
So I did think the Padres were going to be a little bit better, but obviously,
now they're down. They're down 1-0 in the series, and right now they're down in game 2. They're down 4-2 in the 6th inning. I mean, there's still plenty of time to come back. But look, if they come back and win this game, I could definitely see them winning it in 3. But I really didn't think that the Cardinals even had a chance. So they're putting on a show, and the Cardinals might be one of those teams you have to watch out for because they seem to always find a way to win, no matter what they're dealing with.
And that's what I was just going to say. The Cardinals are always one of those teams you can never really count out. Once they get to the postseason, they it seems like they hit another gear, and it's just hard to count the Cardinals out. I mean, they got great coaching, pitching's great. They got some power in the lineup, so you can't really count them out.
Yeah. So then we had the Yankees sweep the Cleveland Indians. I picked the Yankees to win that series. I thought that the Yankees were about to come alive, even against Bieber. It's funny, I had a coworker with me. He said, "Hey, do you have any upsets for the first night of the playoffs that I could bet on?" I said, "Yeah, hey, grab the Yankees and grab that over." And the Yankees bat just came alive. And man, was he happy with me because I won him some money.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah, so you got the Yankees moving on. They are going to play the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the Tampa Bay Rays swept the Blue Jays. Tampa Bay Rays, to me, and I get the Dodgers had a great season, and they look like the best team in the National League. To me, the Tampa Bay Rays look like the best team in baseball, and they absolutely owned the New York Yankees all year long.
Yeah, all the time. They do. They absolutely own them. I don't know how the but the Rays continue to do it year after year after year with absolutely nothing. Their farm system is completely stacked because it's just year after year after year, guy after guy after guy comes up, and you think that they're going to be absolutely horrible because you don't know anybody on their team. But every single year they come out and they're in the playoffs, and every single year they're killing the Yankees somehow, some way.
Yeah. So I have the Tampa Bay Rays beating the New York Yankees here in the second round and moving on to the ALCS. On the lower half of the bracket, we already talked about how the Oakland A's beat the Chicago White Sox, so they're moving on. Look, the Minnesota Twins, they disappointed everybody. Look, nobody wanted the Houston Astros to win other than Astros fans because of the whole cheating scandal. And the Twins were the team, the darling team, the team that Supos actually picked before the season to go to the World Series and play against the Braves. And I really thought that they were going to beat the Astros. Astros were 2 games under 500. They backed into the playoffs, and they go out and they sweep the Twins. So they're going to take on the A's in the second round. Look, I'm gonna pick against them again. I'm picking the A's in Tampa Bay to be in that ALCS.
I think with the Twins, they were supposed to be a lot better than advertised this year, and they were. Don't get me wrong. I still think they're the Twins, though. I mean, they still haven't been to the playoffs in 18 years. So you got to go with Houston at this point. I mean, they're cheaters. They've been playing the drums for the last couple of years and all that, but I mean, you still can't count Correa out. They still got a really good pitching staff, regardless. They still got some heat in the lineup. I mean, don't get it twisted. Even though they did cheat, they still have a great lineup. I mean,
but that lineup only hit about 206 as a team this season, and they were 2 games under 500. So there might be something to that where Altuve I think hit like 186 this year,
which is crazy for Altuve. I mean, it was a down year. It was a down year for a lot of them, but I mean, they limped in, and now that they're here, I do think that they're going to be a little bit more trouble than people think they're going to be. I mean, obviously they're the bad guys right now because of the whole cheating scandal and that whole thing, but I'd like to think that Houston, even though they were doing that whole thing, they're a little bit better than everybody portrays them to be. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, some teams cheat because they need to cheat. I don't really think Houston needed to cheat, it's just gotten to the next level, you know?
Right. Yeah. I guess we'll see here relatively soon, because the ALC or the ALDS is going to kick off in roughly about, I believe the ALDS is scheduled to kick off on Saturday. So we'll see quickly how fast that they can return from what it is that this whole cheating scandal, and if they can prove people wrong.
On that note, game on! Game on! He's wheeling, he's feeling. Whoa, he shoots! He scores!
All right, so that sound here, you guys know what that sound is. Jay, you may not know what that sound is, but that means that it is time to play our favorite game.
No way! Yes way!
It is way or no way. And so, Jay, this is how we do this. All right. So I've got a series of things that, are on my mind, whatever it is, topics that I think of. Sometimes it's funny stories, whatever it is, we go through it. I give you a statement, and then we either say way or no way, and then say why we think it's a way or why we think it's a no way. All right. So let's get it started here quick. And of course, as I say that, I lost my screen here. So let me figure out where it went to. And there it is. All right. So that being said, so we were talking about the NBA, and you're a basketball guy. And we were talking before the show about the Miami Heat, the Boston Celtics, and all that. Look, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. It didn't really matter. The Lakers are winning this. They're going to win it. First way or no way is the Miami Heat will not win one game in the NBA Finals. Way or no way?
Way. I do think that Miami will win at least one of these games. I don't think they'll win more than that, but I do think they'll win at least one. They're hurting right now. They're definitely hurting right now. Dragic is definitely out for the series. Adebayo might be back. I don't know if he is or isn't. Like I was telling you before, if Jimmy Butler is your number one, I don't think you're winning a championship. They got a lot of great role players, but you also need Dragic and Adebayo to be in there for those role players to shine.
Right.
The pick and roll between Dragic and Adebayo is just way too strong. It sucks the whole defense in. And then that's when Duncan Robinson, that's when Tyler Hero are getting their shots. Now, you eliminate that from your offense, and you have absolutely none of that at all. So now Duncan Robinson is trying to create his own shot. Now Tyler Hero is trying to create his own shot. And Duncan Robinson, I'm sorry, is not taking you off the dribble. He's not doing it by any means at all. Tyler Hero, I believe that he can, but, still young in the NBA, still a rookie, still developing his game.
Yep.
I see the Lakers definitely taking this. Height advantage, too much. AD, best player in the world, I'd say right now, even over LeBron. AD is the best player in the world right now. And you got LeBron to top it all off, who I say right now is sitting at the table with Jordan right now. Maybe they're not eating the same meal yet. Maybe they're not eating the same meal yet, but they're definitely sitting at the same table.
Oh, we are going to have this conversation, sir. It may not be today because we're running out of time.
And I understand that.
You just opened up a can of worms with a Chicago guy.
And I understand that you're a Chicago guy, and I fully understand that. But LeBron is definitely sitting at the table with MJ at this point. He's been in 10 NBA Finals now. I don't really care about his record. He's been to 10 of them. He's lost. He's lost more than he's won. You can say, Jordan went and got all 6. But then again, LeBron's number 1 in points. LeBron's number 1 in assists. LeBron's number 1 in rebounds. He's number 2. He's number 2 in 3-pointers made right now. I think he's number 1 in also games played. So he's definitely sitting at the table with Jordan right now. I don't know if they're eating the same meal. Jordan's probably eating filet. LeBron's got the burger, but they're definitely at the same table.
Look, I have this conversation a lot, and people ask me LeBron or Jordan, and I always say, if you want to have this conversation, we're going to have to talk LeBron or Kobe. because I think Kobe's closer to Jordan than LeBron is. But we'll have that conversation another day, all right? All right,
Gotcha.
so moving on, we got the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros winning the World Series would be awful for the game of baseball. I'm going to go ahead and say this is an absolute way. Look, if the Houston Astros win the World Series this year in 2020 after coming off the cheating scandal, look, nobody's going to watch. If the Houston Astros are in the World Series, nobody's watching the World Series other than Astros fans and the fans of the team that they're playing. So I think it absolutely would be awful for Major League Baseball. And not only that, it would just be awful for the fans.
Oh, at the end of the day, I don't think anybody watches baseball anyways, but I don't think it would be really that bad if Houston lost because, that would give them vindication, and it would also show that they were a better team than anybody originally thought they were. Like I was saying earlier, yeah, they cheated, but at the end of the day, I still think that they're a better team than they're giving them credit for. Like I said, Correa, Altuve, they still have a great pitching staff. So, I think that people are undercutting the Astros because of the fact that they cheated last year, but I think they're a lot better than people think that they are. So, I don't really think it'd be all that bad for Major League Baseball. Like you said, the people aren't going to want to see it because of the fact that they cheated last year, but I don't think it'd be incredibly bad for baseball if they did win the World Series.
All right, Jay. So you've been on the show with me for an hour and 40 minutes now. And we were all good until we got into this way or no way. And then you told me LeBron is at the table with Jordan. And now you tell me nobody watches baseball. What the hell? Look. Man. All right. Let's move on. The New York Yankees are the scariest team in the American League. Way or no way?
Way. They are definitely the scariest team in the American League right now. The lineup's ridiculous. I don't know where you stop in that lineup. It's just home run after home run after home run. And if they're actually hitting, I don't see anybody stopping them. Pitching's good. Defense is good. They're a very, very scary team because of all the power that they do have, and it's not like they just have one or two guys that have power. They have like 4 or 5 guys that have power. Yeah. So,
they're absolutely the scariest team in the American League. When you look at that lineup, top to bottom, there are no holes in that lineup. And especially if they're clicking on all cylinders and they're hitting home runs, forget it. They played in a very home run friendly ballpark in Minnesota. I did say before that series started, that's why I felt that they were going to go ahead, in Cleveland. And that's why I felt they were going to go ahead and beat Cleveland in that series. And so, look, especially if Garrett Cole starts pitching like Garrett Cole pitched versus the Indians in Game 1. If Garrett Cole is that good again, they are scary. If Tanaka pitches like he pitched, Tanaka can be scary. So, yes, they can be a very scary team. However, the Tampa Bay Rays have handled them very well this year. So, even though they are the scariest team in the American League, I don't have them getting past the Tampa Bay Rays. So, here we go.
Like I said earlier, Tampa Bay somehow been their kryptonite. So,
Yep.
Even with Superman, when the kryptonite comes around, Superman's not doing so hot either. So, I think if they do face the Rays, I do think that the Rays take that series as well. They just have a way of shutting them down, which is just crazy, and I don't understand it. It might be the small ball that that Tampa plays. I just don't know, but the Yankees are a powerhouse. If they do get past the Rays, I think that they might win the World Series.
Yep.
But,
Yep.
And obviously it'd be much better for baseball,
Right. So we talked a little bit before about the Vikings and how they're disappointing. Hell, I had them winning the NFC North. A lot of people had them being better. I know some people even picked them to be in the Super Bowl out of the NFC this year. So Minnesota, the Vikings have been disappointing. The Twins just lost their 17th straight postseason game. So here's the last way or no way. The fans in Minnesota need to absolutely be checked on for their wellness.
I'm going to have to go with the way on this one for sure. They are definitely going to need to be checked on for their wellness at this point. 17 straight losses. That's unheard of. I can't remember the last time that, I remember that happening with any team, but they definitely need to be checked on. And it's sorry for me to say, but if you have a Minnesota fan out there, any Minnesota fans out there, please give them a call. Check their well-being, make sure they're okay, see if they need anything, because at this point, if I'm a Twins fan, I'm probably hanging it up as well.
Yeah, look, I'm a Cubs fan, Minnesota Twins fans, so I feel your pain. It took us 108 years to finally win a World Series. So I feel your pain, Minnesota. But, God, it's got to hurt right now. I mean, you guys at least thought the Vikings were going to be good, and now they're not even good. The Timberwolves are atrocious. The Twins are losing. The Minnesota Wild got beaten in the playoff. Like, it's just, man, look, I'm sorry, Minnesota, but you're just going to have to suffer through it like the rest of us have at one point or another. Even you Boston fans, man, with the Red Sox, with the Patriots. The Patriots were bad for a long time. Yeah, the Bruins were bad for a while. Like, you guys have suffered through some bad times too. So we all go through it. You guys will have your time out there in Minnesota. Just, keep your head up. All right. So this is the time, the last 15 minutes of the show, we always dedicate this to the fans, just like we do the first 15 minutes of the show, where we talk about whatever the fans want to talk about. You guys heard something that you wanted to talk about? Well, something we said while we were on the show, something you want to go at us with. Hell, even if you want to come at us with some personal stuff that you want to talk about, like something with your life, advice for kids, whatever it is you want to talk about, we will talk about. Just hit us up in the comments section and we will go through it. So, Jay, normally what we do here is we talk, sports. Sometimes I have guys from other shows on, filling in or whatnot. So I'll bring a segment of their show in. What I thought of tonight was, it's your first night on the show. You're going to be filling in for a while with Soup Boss, maybe even become a 3-man team once he comes back. So I figure you're a Marine. I'm a Marine. What the hell's better than some bar room Marine Corps stories, man? Like, we give the people some real entertainment right now, because I know we both have some stories that we could probably share that might get us in a little bit of trouble, might get us into not so much trouble. But, hopefully my girlfriend turned it off by now.
If she hasn't turned it off, this is probably the point of the point of the show that she's probably going to want to turn it off, because these stories, they get a little hairy. So
yeah, absolutely.
This is where we're going. You might definitely want her to have her turn the show off right about meow.
All right. So, did you ever go overseas?
I have.
Okay.
I was stationed over in Japan for 3 years.
Yep.
I also went to the Sandbox twice.
Oh boy.
Iraqi freedom veteran. Been over to Kuwait. I've been to the Philippines. I've been to Thailand. I've been to South Korea. So pretty much the Pacific, because of the fact that I was over in Japan for 3 years. Yeah, like I said, did 2 tours in Iraq.
Hey,
so
man.
I've been all over the world, and they paid me for it. So there's nothing better you can get with that. I mean, I got my ass whooped into shape,
Yep.
So there's nothing.
Look, I never went overseas. I was in from 99 to 03. Right after the towers got attacked, I did go over to Ground Zero, helped out with the cleanup there for probably about 5-6 months. And so, even that was enough for me. But, I planned on re-enlisting, and then my daughter was born, had a whole lot of complications there. And I felt like it was best to be, do what I could do to try to figure things out there. So I ended up not re-enlisting, which, as you look at it, back on it now, you kind of wish you made different decisions, but things are the way that they are, and you take life as it comes to you. So,
right.
But
and, sometimes, when I think back on it, I mean, there's some days where, I'm like, man, I wish I was still in the Marines. I would be doing this, and this right now.
Oh yeah.
And then there's days that I'm like, good, goddamn, I'm not in the Marines anymore because I'm not getting shot at. I'm not getting, threatened to be blown up. I'm not, but at the same time, man, I'll never take back being a Marine for anything in the world.
Absolutely.
One of the best things I've done with my life, hands down.
Yep.
Met a lot of good people, a lot of great men, a lot of great Marines, a lot better. I've served with a lot better men than myself. Rest in peace to Sergeant Morgan. Rest in peace to Sergeant Carabassis. And rest in peace to Lance Corporal Bett. Yeah,
absolutely, man. Look, I wear a shirt. Look, I do a whole lot with the Till Valhalla project. And for those of you that don't know, the Till Valhalla project is a project that is for awareness for veterans who struggle with PTSD. It also brings, tombstones to families who have lost service members, whether it be overseas or struggling with the demons after they've come home and have ultimately taken their own life or lost a battle with the demons. And so I deal with a lot with them. And so I always wear the Remember Everyone Deployed shirts. I wear a whole lot of, just military pride stuff. And it's something that, even though it's been, 2003, so it's been 17 years now since I've been out. And I've been a carpenter ever since. And I've done, a whole lot of things here and there. And I look back at it now like, man, I could have been retired for 2 years by now. But instead, I'm still working my ass off and I'm trying to figure everything out. But that's neither here nor there. Look, those service members, our friends, our brothers, our sisters that do not come home, man, they pay the ultimate sacrifice. And for them, I am always grateful. I am completely humbled by their service and by the things that they've done. I got my one of my best friends who watches the show. His name is Bjorn. He's Army. He's got 2 Purple Hearts. He had his his helicopter shot down, and then had a convoy blown up because he went back after his helicopter shut down. And this guy, even after those 2 Purple Hearts, has signed up for countless freaking regiments to go back and serve as private security to fight ISIS. So it's in his blood. It's what he wants to do. And I have nothing but respect for the things that they do. You'll hear from him. He'll be on here. I call him Skittles because that man sent me a shot of him right after a gunfight with ISIS, and he was wearing some rainbow colored shorts. So I call him Skittles. I thought it was the greatest shot I had ever seen. But Bjorn, he is definitely one of those guys. I do with the Till Valhalla project. I do a lot with the Wounded Warrior project and stuff like that. So we're always donating, especially here on the show. Like I make donations. I donate to the Till Valhalla project every month. So it's one of those things. Now, for me, the funnest part about the military was boot camp. I don't know about you, man, but boot camp, boot camp is what turned me into the person that I am. Boot camp was, look, man, I was a shithead when I went into Marine Corps. Growing up as a teenager, man, my parents will tell you, I was just a shithead. Like they didn't know what I was going to do. I had a chance to go to college, but here nor there, I ended up going into the Marine Corps, and it changed me. But I had those drill instructors who, at the end of the day, were more like family and more like fathers. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I had this one drill instructor, and I'll never forget it, Sergeant Matthews, and he just loved to make you laugh. Like it was his thing, and he would make you laugh, but then freaking bring you out to the quarterdeck and IT your ass the entire damn time because you're out there laughing. So he would come up to me, man, and he'd put his hand over his face, and he'd be like this, But the one thing, the way he always got me was he brought, how you get guys from the PCP, and you get the guys from, they join your platoon, whether it's from PCP, which we call the pork chop platoon, or or the guys who were on suicide watch, right?
Right.
So we got this one guy is a kid who just came from PCP, and he's sweating him on the quarter deck, and he's like, all right, run in place. All right, for like an hour, man. And we're all standing at attention while he's doing this and just having fun with this kid. And so he's, the kid's sweating and running. So I'm the type of guy, and he knew this, that if something's funny, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to break rank and I'm going to laugh. And then he's going to get to IT me too. And I graduated meritoriously. I graduated as the guide and all that. And, but he'd always try to get me. And so he's got this kid and he's sweating him. And he's like, he gets to the kid and he just dripping sweat. And I see him look at me out the corner of his eye. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And he's like, all right, now jump in place. All right, now do push-ups. All right, now stand up and run in place. And he goes, now sing, I'm a maniac.
Oh yeah.
I lost my shit. He's like, fucking Combs, get up here too. And I'm just like,
right. I mean, the things that they do to recruits is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there at the position of attention and you just don't want to laugh, but it's just so hard not to. And you're just sitting there because you don't want to be the next one to be up on the getting killed too. And I was just talking to my other buddy the other day about this. By the second or third phase, the blouse comes right off. Man. Off. You don't even care about getting quarter decked anymore. It just at that point it just happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. I was just telling him that when I was in boot camp, I headbutted one of the drill instructors on accident. He came up right here. And he was like, oh, McDougall, with his old frog voice. And, it just caught me. So I headbutted him. I was like, whoa, I didn't do it at all, But I was contract quarter deck for the next 3 months. Every single time somebody came to the quarter deck, he'd be like, keyword pep, bitch. Keyword pep. P, empty your pockets. P, push, sir. Push, sir. So, that was me, man. So, yeah.
We had two guys get into a fight, and it was like the middle. I don't even know what the hell they were doing awake. It was like 2:00 in the morning, and I wake up, man, and all I hear is freaking skin hitting skin. Just boom, boom. I'm like, what the fuck? And these guys were going at it. So, it just woke everybody up. So we get up and we're breaking it up, and then the drill instructor's up, and so he, fucking IT's all over. We're all getting yelled at, flipping bunks, flipping, foot lockers, all that other good stuff that they do. So we get cleaned up. We finally get back to bed. I think we got like an hour of sleep, and we're marching to chow, and I'm lined up, and I've got the flag, and he calls the two guys up. I can't remember their names, man, but he calls them up to the front, and he's like, Combs, get to the back. I'm like, oh, great. I just lost my spot as guy because you assholes. So he goes, all right, Combs to the back. And he grabs the flag, and he's marching. He's like, you two are going to sing cadence on the way to chow, and I want you to hold hands and sing We Are Family all the way to the chow hall. And he made these guys sing We Are Family all the way to the chow hall, and we're sitting there marching in cadence to We Are Family. Look, man, drill instructors, and my daughter's 18, and she just signed up to go into the Army. And I'm extremely proud of her. Couldn't be more proud. Obviously tears in your eyes as you're watching on, because you can't go there, but you're watching on video as she's getting sworn in and stuff. Right. So I'm super proud of her. And she asked me if I had any advice for her, and I said, look, when you're in boot camp, just remember it's all head games. Like, they love you. They want you to succeed. So all the stuff that they're doing is gearing you up to succeed.
They're gonna break you down, and then they're gonna build you right back up.
Right back up. Absolutely. All right. So that is all the time that we have for now. Jay, thank you for joining the show. Our next show is Sunday at the same time as always, guys. Again, the All Access Sports Network has launched, so check out allaccesssportsnetwork.com. All of these shows that we bring to you on the All Access Sports Network will be streaming live on the website. You'll also be able to find our replayed shows. If you missed any part of the show and you want to listen to it, you can listen to it on the All Access Sports Network. Our shows play on your drive home from work, so we are 4 p.m. Central to 6 p.m. Central, which is 5 p.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern. on the All Access Sports Network. You can find it on there. You can find all the shows on there. We have some great blogs on there. A lot of guys write the different blogs. I used to do a little bit of the blogging for the network. That has since slowed down, but might get back into it here. They've been asking me for it. So definitely check out All Access Sports Network. Go to the YouTube page, subscribe at Triple Shot Sports Podcast on YouTube. If you go to that page and you subscribe, and we get to 100 subscribers before Sunday, remember, every Sunday we're taking away one item, but I've still got 7 items that I'm going to be giving away. The Fernando Tatis autographed jersey is still in there. I've still got the Philip Lindsay autographed Broncos helmet. I've got the Juan Soto autographed bat that's still in there. We've got the Joe Mauer autographed baseball that's in there. The Michael Vick autographed Falcons jerseys in there. So a lot of good items still in there, up for grabs. Still over $1,000 worth of items that I'm just trying to give away to you guys for free. So all you got to do is get there. Let's get to 100 subscribers on the YouTube. Everybody who subscribes on the YouTube page will be entered in a drawing to win those prizes. So get there, subscribe. That's all you got to do. And yes, Michelle, I know the Michael Vick jersey. We own a pit bull, so she wants that jersey out of the house as soon as possible. So let's get there. Jay, thanks for joining us. We will see you Sunday, sir. Everybody, have a great night. Hope you enjoyed the show. Have a good one.